Can you guys see that? No. Hey guys, I'm headed back in the woods. It's actually a really nice day. Overcast, a little bit of rain. I got to go practice a little bit more with this so that I can learn how to put it on in the woods and get that angle just right without actually having to look in a mirror, because hey, when you're up in a tree, you don't have a mirror. Really what I'm doing is I'm fidgeting. I was supposed to pick up my new prototype deer stand today at 11. It's not going to be ready till 11:30. So I got to go kill some time. So let's go practice with this. But first, the intro. Doing a little bit of talking while I head over to the archery range. What I noticed in the previous video was that this little piece right here, it was aligned okay. In fact, I liked where it was aligned, but it was looking up a little too high. And if you guys all noticed, you could see the arrow in the very bottom of the picture before I drew back. But once I drew back, the arrow disappeared from the picture. And I didn't want that. I want the whole arrow in there. So I'm going to be experimenting with tipping this down a little bit until I get just the right angle, and then I'm going to be tightening it down. Then I'm going to be trying to memorize exactly right here that this is going to be right touching the top of my eyebrow, so that I know how to place this when I'm out in the forest. And then I clamp the camera in and I look around, and it should be pretty good. But this is turning out to be actually the preferred camera holder, for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. It doesn't experience the shock of the bow jumping forward on release of the arrow. Instead, all that shock is dampened out by your whole body, and it's just easy. It's easiest to put on. You can put it on, you can take it off. I mean, it just comes off like that. You can wear it with your hat over the top. You can wear it with your hat underneath. Me, I've got one of those little tight skull caps, camo. And I've got a bucket hat that, when the weather's nice, a bucket hat with mesh. So I'll wear the bucket hat whenever I can. I just like the bucket hat. It's got a little veil around there that covers your eyes up. So it's a superior hat for hunting, because you gotta cover your eyes up. You cannot let deer see the whites of your eyes. All animal brains are pre-wired, going back millennia, going back epochs of evolution, to recognize, even out of the corner of their eyes, even with their peripheral vision, whether or not there's two circles close together with black dots in them pointing at them. And we all react. We all know we do. Deer aren't any different, so you got to hide those eyes. The veil's really useful for that. The veil's got a bucket hat. The bucket hat goes on over the top of this camera holder, and I should be rocking. In fact, the veil should be able to cover my face, mostly my eyes, and still actually leave the camera on the outside of the veil, so that I can actually get a really good picture. So we're here to experiment. Same reason as before. Get all your experimenting done before you get out in the woods. Go back inside your backpacks today, guys. Lay everything out that you think you're taking out into the woods, and try to get rid of as much as you possibly can. You don't want it in the woods. You need a phone, you need a battery, you need a pocket knife, maybe a spare one, maybe. You need a hand warmer. We're going to go over that. That's going to be one of our next videos, because next week I get in the woods for the first time, and you're going to see me the night before setting my bag up, making sure that I got everything. All right, here we are coming into Blackwell Forest Preserve in Warrenville, Illinois. Going to let all this traffic go by. Wow, my lens is dirty. Hold on. There, that's better. Forest Preserve of DuPage County. Warrenville, Illinois is located about 45 miles straight west of downtown Chicago, in case anybody's curious. And if you pay your taxes, it's free. If you want to use the archery range started charging just recently. Budget problems, who knows. But they make us buy a little card for $35 if you're a resident of DuPage County. If you're a non-resident, I live in the next county over. I actually cross the county line. I pay 50 bucks. Cheap. You guys have seen this archery range, $50 a season. People might whine if they only come here once or twice. They'll say, oh, $50, that's preposterous. But me and a bunch of other guys, the Asian bow shooters, the compound bow shooters, we're here 4 and 5 days a week. So it's a great big, it's a fantastic deal. That actually used to be a hole in the ground, guys. That used to be that was a landfill. It was Argonne National Lab's first landfill gas recovery project. They covered that in, turned it into a landfill that actually by design produced gas. Here we are coming into our range. We've got great fishing over on this side. Wow, there's people actually having a picnic. I wonder what that's all about. I see Dan's here. See the black Jeep right there? That's Asian Bow Dan. I'm gonna have to come by here. Everybody's gonna say, hey Mark, let's go shoot at 100 yards. We'll save that in a little bit. Let me go get set up. Okay, you guys are seeing me try to get set up right here. The goal is to be able to put this thing on and actually wear it into the woods and feel good about how the angle is without having to spend a lot of time looking at it. And I got to get the tension right. I got to look for some kind of a landmark above my eye where I say, yeah, that feels pretty good. And then I'm going to take a step back and actually try to find a landmark that I can see, like that Jeep tire right there, so that now I know that that's what it looks like. I'm pointing down, it's lifting up. Gosh, it looks like I got to get tilted down ever so slightly. So let's do a little tilting there. Let's snug it down. Not enough to break it. That'd suck. Now we're looking here. We're looking at the Jeep tire, looking at the Jeep tire. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's see, got to go in here, get my arm guard. Get all set up. I guess you guys are actually seeing me put all my gear on. I think I've already showed you how to build this kind of a warm-up arm sock arm guard. A little piece of craft foam underneath. You can see I've been using it for years upon years. Looking pretty good. Super quiet actually. Here's my neat glove. Here's my neat glove with my extra inserts in there, so it's nice and stiff and thick. I even made it a little bit stronger on top by stitching all of this together. Checking to see, yeah, I can look at the whole display now. I can actually peek up inside and see that I've got the camera still running. I got my deer. Let's go put this in the woods, take a couple of shots, and see what it actually looks like. Feels a little weird having it on the side of my head there instead of facing forward. I haven't figured out how to solve that problem yet, where it's looking the direction when I'm shooting. I'm looking a little bit at an angle. Morning. I'm gonna go put this deer out there really quick. Wonder if I'll ever find that arrow that I lost. You guys remember last time I was out here just a couple days ago, I hit something in the ground right under the bag and the whole arrow ricocheted somewhere. No idea. All right, that should be about 15 yards, 15 meters rather. Let's go see if this works. Okay. Let's see, I gotta look for something. I'm looking for landmarks that I can spot. All right, got a white bag right there, white bag right there, white bag. I'm looking at the bag and I'm looking at the bag with my finger and I'm looking at the bag inside the display to make sure that it's all lined up. Let's go back and shoot my deer here. See how this works. Same 5 steps, guys. See 5 steps in the shooting method. Step 1, choose your gap. For me, That's it's 20 meters and a little bit more than that for 15. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Let's hope that that's pointing in the right direction this time. Step 3, look down the left side of the string with your right eye. Step 4, put the tip of the arrow right on that target, lower left quadrant. Step 5, small motion release. Nice shot. Let's go do another one from a slightly different angle. Let's see if the camera picked all that up. I gotta rotate this camera ever so slightly. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin, not your cheek. Step 3, look down the left side of the string with your right eye. Step 4, put the tip of the arrow right on that sweet spot, right on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Another decent shot. Let's pick one more up, rear quartering, shoot through a little bush here. Oh, I got a crappy arrow, it's missing a fletching. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip of the arrow right on the target. Step 5, small motion release. Looks pretty good. Let's go take a peek. Okay. Clear. I'm trying to walk. I've got my head turned this way. My body's walking this way. So it is a little weird, but let's see. Where's the bag? Yeah. There. A couple of really good shots there. In fact, they're all kill shots. 2 were kill dropping 30 yards, and the other ones, you might have to track them a little ways. But you're getting the idea. You got to spend a little bit of time coming to a practice range like this, wearing the headgear, feeling how tight it's going to have to be, looking for some kind of little landmark. In this case, it's my eyebrow that I'm going to use to try to know that the edge of the plastic has got to feel that right by the eyebrow, and then I'm going to be in a good place. After that, it's a dice roll. Oh, wait, I shouldn't even say anything. I got to go turn this off, go replay it, and see how it actually turned out. I'll be right back. Okay, I just got done watching that video, and actually it was really good. The picture, like the important part of the picture, was a little bit to the screen left, and maybe just a little bit lower than I would have liked. So I'm going to make an adjustment where I tilt the holder down ever so slightly. I can't do anything about adjusting and shifting the picture. I might try to shift it so that the whole unit is follow the target. It's a little, I got to shift a little bit to the left and a little bit down, and hopefully that'll straighten it out. But let's give it another try. I'm going to go put the headgear on. Okay, this is a complete test where I'm only putting the headgear on, not actually looking in the mirror or anything before I go. This is going to be a complete test of like being out in the woods. And I'm trying to pull it down a little lower than I did before, and a little bit more off to the side over my eyebrow. Let's give it 3 more shots. See how we're doing. By the way, that's Corey over there. Corey's the guy that told me all about Loudon Miller State Park. All you newbies, one of the things that distinguish you as a newbie is that you don't ask for advice. So start asking, because I'm about to have a fantastic season this year, all because I was willing to talk to Corey. Thanks for that, Corey. All right, step 1. Yeah, I can actually look directly underneath the camera. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under the chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, remember the deer's pointing to the left. Step 4, put the tip of the arrow right on that lower left quadrant. Step 5, small motion release. That looks pretty good. Let's shoot one more from quartering away. This time we're going to completely obscure the target. Because, hey guys, that's reality. You have to try to envision where that sweet spot is. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, tip the arrow on that sweet spot, Step 5. That was a little high and right. I could see it going. I got to adjust this camera just a little bit. Last shot. You notice I'm not doing any quartering towards me. That to me is a very high risk shot. Step 1, choose your gap. Step 2, draw back under your chin. Step 3, look down the left side of the string. Step 4, hit the arrow right on that sweet spot. Pretend those grasses and stuff are not even there because it's going to pass right through. Step 5, small motion release. Pretty good. Let's go take a peek. Getting good at walking with my head cocked. And yeah, those are pretty good shots. Pretty good shots. What'd we learn? Adjust, adjust, adjust when you're here, when you get a chance to practice. Don't do it out in the field. And even then, there's no guarantees, guys, that, you know, you're going to get to actually record the shot. So if you miss it, make sure you remember the whole moment. Don't think that it has to be on film. This is Mark Vogt with VOGTLAND Outdoors. We'll see you out there. This happens sometimes, guys. I've noticed that in the last couple of days, probably since my surgery, my 20-meter gap has changed. It used to be, let's see if I can see this. It used to be 3 full fingers, and now it's actually 2.5. I can't explain why. If I had to offer up a theory, I'd say being flat on my back for a month, you get a little bit weaker. And because I'm weaker, my elbow is actually not pressing out as far, so my draw length is actually shortened by maybe 1 inch. But that changes. I mean, I lose 4 pounds of force at full draw, which means I'm not pulling back 59 pounds like I thought anymore. I might be only pulling back 54 pounds. And 54 pounds means I've got to adjust. I've got to compensate a little bit by changing the angle on my 20-meter gap. I got to change my 20-meter gap from 3 inches to 2.5. And I'm seeing that for now, that's actually working really, really nice. That here's 20 meters, there's my grouping, worked out really well. Let's go try it one more time. Nothing else has to change. That interval, the 10-meter interval, that's not going to change. But what your 20-meter gap is, that's going to take a little adjustment. So when you go out in the field, don't freak out if you find it. If you find your 20-meter gap changing a little bit, just adjust. Make enough practice shots so that you remember your new 20-meter gap. When you go out in the woods, you'll be just fine.